Okay, I parked just a few yards away, and I'm going for a slightly longer walk today than I normally go. It's a walk I've done, well, I put it on video at least 2 or 3 times over the last few years. It's quite breezy today, so there might be a bit of an audio problem. And as you see, well, out to sea, it's looks like it's pretty clear, but there, as it is normally, there's a pile up against the mountains of this cloud, so there'll probably be probably won't be too much in the way of sunshine today. So 9th of August, so not too much, not very good holiday weather really. So unfortunate really for the people that are on holidays by the seaside this time of year, or at least in this neck of the woods. Okay, so that's the valley going up into the mountains there. Cwm Bychan. The first 2 or 3 miles of this walk is downhill or largely on the level, so easy walking for the first 2 or 3 miles, and then it's uphill walking for the middle part of the walk, and then on the level or downhill for the last third. Okay, so there's a patch of sun up there, just briefly shining. And gradually finishing up the descent, gradual descent down to the more or less the valley floor, this road junction that's coming up. Okay, here's the road that runs up to the head of Cwm Bychan, and is part of the Ardidwy way. Okay, so I'll go along this road now for, well, about 1.5 miles, I think, before I begin my uphill descent. Now that's well advertised there, that dinners, caravan park and camping, hideaway in the hills. Up there. A little bit of sunlight in the far distance up there. Now this walk is, I think, roughly about 7.5 miles long. It's entirely on this tarmac lane, so I'm hoping I don't get too footsore. It's walking on tarmac is sometimes more of a problem than walking on footpaths, the actual like just country footpaths. See the mountains at the head of Cwm Bychan, and the mountain that's got a bit of a cloud on the top is clipped just over 2,000 feet above sea level. That's the stream that runs up the valley up to the head of Cwm Bychan. Handy parking spot. So there are other walkers about. I haven't seen any walkers yet. What I'm going to do now is just take a short break. See if I can find a place to have a break just down here at the side of the stream. Doesn't look like there's too much in the way of seating down here. So I'll But I'll just, okay, so this is a nice little wild camping spot here. Kind of with the ferns, it's kind of largely hidden from the road. But of course, I don't think wild camping is officially allowed. It is the Avanatro. Had a normal amount of water in it. We've had a couple of days of drizzly type, damp and drizzly weather, but no heavy rain. Yeah, quite a nice spot this. Okay, so just up ahead is where I turn off and start my uphill ascent. Okay, another patch of sun broke through the clouds, and okay, this is where I turn off up here and start the ascent. I think it's about roughly 750 feet of ascent on this walk. Yeah, I've had it easy up until now, largely descent. Or at least on the level, and just a few slight uphills, but now the work begins. Somewhere up there, disappearing under the clouds. Well, actually, you can just about see the top. Renongvaur. Yes, 2,300 and something. Renongvaur and Renongvac are about roughly the same height. 2,560 feet above sea level. No, 2,360 feet above sea level. Okay, and you can see how dense the ferns grow around here, completely covering. So really a kind of wilderness. Be quite a job clearing it if you wanted to increase the grazing land for cattle and sheep. Just the first sighting of, how to pronounce it, Gerddi Bluog. Yeah. Kind of like a mysterious house in the middle of nowhere. There's several of these gates on this particular stretch of the walk, and which is good for walkers, because it puts off the casual driver going for a little tour around. So you have, except for the odd, maybe the farmer, you have the lane to yourself. Certainly wild country here. There's the ridge going up to Renongvaur, which is just, the top's just clearing of cloud. It's gradually brightening up a bit more in this clip. I can't quite, I'm not sure what the name of that hill is. Cwm Bychan, is it? No, not sure. Yeah, the sun's gradually coming out more often. Okay, so this is where the lane goes up steeply now for about 300 feet and passes that mysterious house. Because of the roadside ferns, it's difficult to get a better view of it. There might be one a bit further up. The House of Mystery. Okay, that's a better view coming up here. Right, so yeah, that's a good view right there of the house. It is a listed building, and the Archdeacon of Marianoshire, Mr. Priz, was it? I can't pronounce. Got me. I'll look it up and put it on the caption. Yeah, he was born there, I think, way back in the 17th century, and he's actually he's fairly famous for translating the Psalms in the Bible into Welsh. He was the first man to do it, apparently. Okay, here's a group of farm buildings here, and there is well, just up there, a farmhouse. I presume it's a farmhouse. There's an end-on view. There's not much view from behind, unfortunately, but it has an excellent view over, and you can see just down there a little bit. Can I home in on it? Lake Bychan. Yeah, it's a fairly popular spot in the summer for people that want to have a little drive out into a scenic lake under the mountains. It looks unoccupied. It has got a bit of a history behind it. The guy that built Port Merion, he did quite a bit of work on that. He put the big windows in back in the 1930s, I think. And then in the 1970s and 80s, the YHA took it over, believing that they're going to put a long-distance path right alongside it. That never came into fruition, so the YHA just abandoned it, and I don't quite know who owns it now, unless it's part of the just another farm building. But Gerddi Bluog, it has an excellent view of the Welsh wilderness, the mountain wilderness. Alright, continue uphill, but if I find a flat rock here, I'll have a break. Having a little break on a rock here in this corner of it, just above the Gerddi Bluog. And there's an oak tree, there's a maple tree, and over there on either side of the road are two ash trees, and you can see how all the ash trees in this country now are slowly dying, and possibly will become as rare as the elm trees, which were back in Victorian times were a common tree. Very excellent tree in the countryside. The elm trees, they've gone, largely gone. I wouldn't be able to I don't know how to recognise one, but there's probably one or two scattered around. Yeah, so that's a nice spot to have a break. Okay, that wasn't too bad. More or less got to the high point here. Just I just go at an ultra slow pace, a very slow plodding pace, and eventually you get there. This next stretch of the walk, hopefully you'll be able to hear me. It crosses a kind of like a partial moorland, well, upland pastures at least. blowing a near gale up here. Okay, I'm crossing the Gerddi Bluog footpath now. Footpath, the sign has fallen over. I'm not sure how popular it is. It's a well, it's a medium distance walk. I think it was probably a few walkers on it when it was first opened up a few years ago. But maybe it's not particularly popular these days. Pretty breezy up here. There is Volsenig. Don't quite know how to pronounce it. It's got an L on the end. And I reached the lane that goes from Telsano to well, to Jan Fire, I think. And yeah, okay. So quite a good walk so far. Not feeling too bad. I did my way. So maybe half an hour of walking ahead back to the car. Nice walk. There's the Traumatic Bay in the Irish Sea. Slightly hazy. Ria Goch. Yeah, self-catering cottages. Okay, there's an isolated cottage. Not cottage, a little Welsh chapel. I don't know if they probably don't. It's not active as a chapel any longer. I'm not sure, but it's probably kept up by volunteers. Looks like there's a new roof on it. Okay, so I turn left here, but I'll just have a quick look at this sign, because we're actually on the Gerddi Bluog cycle route. Yeah, it's part of the I think it's part of the long distance cycle path from Cardiff to Holyhead. I don't know if anyone's actually cycled it all in one go and put it on YouTube. I'm on the final stretch of this walk. Just a few minutes, if that. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I'll be back to the car, and it's kind of turned out quite nice. Still some cloud over the mountains, and I apologise for the audio problem. This whole camera I've got, it doesn't have an external microphone, but I like using this camera because of the telescopic feature on it. But one of these days I might break down and buy myself a new camera. Some of these local farms here I presume make a nice little supplement to their farm income by converting old barns into holiday accommodation. Okay, I can see my car in the distance, maybe about 300 or 400 yards ahead, so I think this is more or less, well, I can finish up the video here. I think it's been quite a pleasant walk. Thanks for watching.